Hi.
We are
It's
live.
11:11.
11:11 on the dot.
Good morning. Good morning. Happy Friday. Or as Tip likes to say, happy Friday. Yay. I was going to play some music, wasn't I? Let me do that.
Oh,
yeah. Let's get some vibes going.
Bring on the music. The Dare to Dream soundtrack. I love this. You have like a piece of music that you really feel.
Can you feel that music? Please say hello if you're coming on to watch us live. We'd love to say hello to you.
Good morning. Happy Friday. If you're joining us live this morning, it's going to be a good morning.
I can see some people watching. Do say hello if you're there.
Maybe check out my phone and who's joining. Hi.
Dora's there. Good morning, Dora. Good morning, Vicky. Good morning, Emma. Good morning, Susie. It's a beautiful morning here in North Yorkshire. That's what that music makes me feel.
I didn't realise it was a dance as well.
I feel that piece of music represents my life. Just beautiful, lots of exciting, powerful music going on, and then just effortlessly gliding. There we go.
Amazing. So,
good morning.
If you're hopping on live, we would love to welcome you this morning to the Dare to Dream Masterclass.
We're so delighted to have you all here this morning.
We've been so excited about this. Ever since that teaser video dropped with that beautiful music and the beautiful images and all the vibes, we've been excited about this. So it feels like it's been a really long time coming.
It really does. It really, really does. And I just wanted to say as well, thank you for those of you who are joining us live, but also to anybody who's now watching this on replay as well, a really big welcome to you as well. And feel free to comment. We are monitoring the comments as we go through this. We will answer questions. Whether you are here live or whether you're going to be watching on replay, we will answer the questions if you're watching replay. So please feel engaged if you're watching this on replay and just ask the questions or make comments. Just really feel into everything that we're going to share with you today, because we just have so many beautiful things to share with you that really hope that you take away and put into your life and help transform your lives, really, because that's what we're really all about.
Yeah. So I know we have a number of new members to the group.
Yes, welcome.
Today. So welcome to all the new members that have just joined the Wellness Business Club. Perhaps if this is the first time that you're ever seeing Ali and I in this live setting, then welcome to our world. Feeling very blessed to have you here. So thanks for being here. Let us know in the comments if you're new to the group and this is the first time that you're watching us live. Or maybe you have been in our world for some time, and obviously we're happy to see you here as well. So
always delighted. I've just seen Joanna's just joined. Hello, Joanna, lovely. How are you?
Hi, Joanna. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
We've got some of our well-balanced business ladies in the house, which is always lovely. Thank you so much for jumping on. I suppose given that we have had quite a few people who have joined the Wellness Business Hub who don't know Emma or I or both of us, then we're just going to spend a little bit of time, well, not even just a little bit of time, we'll just do a brief introduction and then we're going to get cracking on the main topic, which is all about dreams. But for those of you who I haven't had the pleasure of meeting, I'm Ali Mortimer. I'm the founder of Heal Yourself Happy. I am a happiness coach and now a business mentor. And Oh, I'm just so delighted to be here with Emma. Emma was my coach. We met in 2019. We were both on a panel at the UK Health Coaches Conference. I was there standing in the capacity of a health coach and talking about how I'd grown my business very, very quickly. And Emma was there talking about business strategy and marketing. And it was a couple of months later after that, I realized that I loved what I was doing in terms of health and happiness coaching, and I was doing really well. My clients were having such incredible results, but it was really helping the people in my current network. And I really wanted to be able to help more people beyond my immediate sphere of connection, really. And it's like, how am I going to do that? I was driving on the road to Harrogate, and I was just like, how am I going to do that? And it just suddenly popped into my mind that I'd been sat next to this gorgeous woman on a panel who did exactly that. So I picked up the phone right there and then. And I suppose what I commonly coined to so many of my clients, I was a fart in the wind to Emma. I was like, hello, I'd like to work with you, please. And then that started a beautiful relationship. So Emma, over to you. I'll let you explain a little bit about you.
Okay, thank you. So for those of you that don't know me, I'm Emma Forrester, and I'm an online business strategist and mentor. And I'm the founder of a coaching company called Designing the Dream. And my speciality is supporting wellness business owners to build an online business, but do it in a very strategic way so that they can attract more consistent clients and cash flow into their business, so that they can really enjoy a much more well-rounded, balanced life filled with more wealth, better health, unlimited freedom and fulfillment. And I do this through a unique methodology that I created around business growth, which is called business architecture. And it's very much this strategic blueprint for how you create a dream business in exactly the same way that you would create a dream house, from the foundations up, with all of the strategy and the structures and the systems to support you so that you can then fill that with all of the beautiful, soulful things that you want to fill it up with. And I'm also, since meeting the lovely Ali here, and having worked with her for the past 15, 16 months now, and growing the Heal Yourself Happy brand together through our coaching, we came together at the beginning of this year to share Ali's success story, and created the Well Balanced Business brand, which is now our baby. So I'm the co-founder of the Well Balanced Business, and really our mission together is to just help more wellness entrepreneurs to find that balance in their business so they can love business, love money, and love life. That's our mission, and that's our mantra. So if you're here for all of those things, then you're in the right place this morning.
It's been a beautiful connection. I think Emma's methodologies and principles are all around the foundations of freedom. She helps people design lives to be free from financial fear, free from kind of like being caught up in a rat race or in a rut. And my key principles are the happiness principles. I want to help unlock happiness in every single individual, whether that be from realization of dreams, whether it's to find the love of their life, whether it's to find peace and calm within. All of these beautiful things has been a beautiful merging together, and we often talk about it. It's almost like the DNA kind of like merging together to create this beautiful new brand that we love helping people with. And we're just so excited to be together to share both of our principles, both of our learnings here with you today. And today is all about dreams. I'm just seeing that we've got a load more people just pop on, so I feel like we should just say a quick hello while we've been talking. But
let's just say hi to everyone.
So hello, lovely Michelle. We've got Carrie, lovely Claire, lovely Heather, Katie Godfrey. Hello Monica. Hello everybody. Thank you so much for popping on and saying hello.
Tiff's on, Michelle's on, Kerry's on. Fabulous.
Emma Bradbury. Hello. Lots of lovely old names and some new names as well. So that's just lovely. So that's a little bit of an introduction. We're here to talk about daring to dream, which is why I'm guessing all of you are watching, whether that be on replay or whether you're watching us here at live. And I think we're going to just share a little bit about our dream story, really, to help inspire you. And mine, Emma and I were talking about this when we were coming together to talk about this masterclass, and how dreams played a role in our life. And I said, well, do you know what? Interestingly, our dreams started, the first dreams I remember were as a child, and I dreamt of being a mum. That's all I ever wanted to be. I wanted to be a mum with 6 boys. Call me crazy. I wanted 6 sons, and I wanted to be a teacher and an artist. And that was what I dreamt of in life. And then wind forward a few years, James and I went traveling. James is my husband. We went traveling when we were 20. We went around the world. And I remember very, very clearly, one night we were lying in Fiji, beautiful place. It was, not very many people there, actually. I don't know whether any of you remember, but George Speight overthrew the government the year that we were traveling. So we were in Fiji when nobody was there. It was wonderful. And we were lying underneath the stars, and the stars were all shooting, and we started to make wishes and dreams on the stars. And I remember dreaming of a future with family, obviously, and being with James and living in a beautiful house surrounded by fields and gardens and being really, really happy. And then we were in our 20s then. We came home, and then we ended up somehow living out everybody else's dreams. I think it's probably quite common. I lived out my parents' dreams, and rather than being a teacher, rather than being an artist, I went into consultancy. I went into IT consultancy, and I got on this huge rat race of, promotion after promotion. I did really, really well. And James was living out his dad's and his parents' life. He became an accountant, and we moved into the house where his parents lived, and we joined the tennis club, and we did absolutely everything. And we felt like we were living his parents' life, which was a wonderful life, but it wasn't the life that we dreamt of when we were lying on the beach in Fiji. And for those of you who know my story, and for those of you who don't, I'm very open about it, and you can go and watch my full story, but everything kind of came to a big crescendo in 2020. I lost my mum, and my marriage with James and our relationship completely fell apart for a catalogue of reasons, but it was a very, very dark time. And I was diagnosed with PTSD, clinical depression. I had insomnia, couldn't sleep, and I had a really terrible eating disorder. And it was in that darkness that I managed to pull myself out of that rat race, and I started to dream again. But my dream was just to be happy. Very simple. I didn't tie anything to it. It was just, I dreamt of being happy. And I talk about just wanting to dance in the grass and just the feeling of happy. And as I just held on to that feeling of being happy. And 4 years down the line, I've turned that dream into a reality. I dance in the garden barefoot every morning, happy, with my dogs around me. I don't have quite 6 boys, but I count my 2 sons and 3 fur babies and James, he's a child. So we healed everything, and we have created the most beautiful life in the last 4 years. I'm not going to say it's been easy, but we kept the dream alive. And there have been so many reasons not to create the dream. We could have found every excuse under the sun not to, but the dream was so big, and the dream was so powerful. And the feeling that we'd been given this extra chance, this one life to create this one dream life, we just kept going. And the principles that we're going to be talking to you about in this masterclass are going to be some of the principles that we've put into practice. But that's my dream story. Emma, I'm sure you've got just as beautiful a dream story.
Oh gosh, I feel like that's a really hard act to follow. You tell it so well. I think when I was thinking about this, like my dream story, and I was just thinking about this masterclass and what we're doing here. Like for me, if you'd said to me, even like 7-8 years ago, that I was going to be sitting here today talking about and delivering a masterclass on creating like a dream life and how to get everything that you want in life, like I wouldn't have believed you at that time in my life, because to be perfectly honest, it was an absolute shit show. Like there was a large portion of my life, like pretty much an entire decade throughout my 20s, where life was really messy for me. And that kind of started with a lot of things that had been going on in my family life. And there was a lot of trauma there. My dad got into some really bad business arrangements and ended up being targeted by criminal groups. And it was really, really traumatic for our family. We went bankrupt, we lost our house. And life kind of fell apart. And I very much went from being this like very normal family living in, a beautiful town in Henley-on-Thames where shit like that doesn't happen to people. And it was like this episode out of EastEnders that just imploded on our lives. And it roller coasted into all kinds of really bad situations for us. Our family ended up splitting apart. So I went with my mum, my brother went with my dad. So our family was like torn down the middle. And my dad actually ended up becoming an alcoholic as a result of his way of dealing with a lot of the trauma and a lot of the guilt that had happened. And so that then, like all that trauma around the illness and, you know, everything that comes with, you know, somebody being in an addictive, you know, place, created so many problems for our family. I was at university at the time, and I ended up leaving my university to go and live with him so that I could look after him and be his carer to try and get him back to health, because he fell into liver failure and all those kind of things. So this entire decade of my 20s was spent picking up the pieces of the trauma that had happened at the beginning of my 20s. And I think whilst everyone else was having a complete meltdown, I was the one holding everything together. Like that was my role in the family. And then it wasn't until much later, when things kind of cleared and the air was cleared, that it started to implode on me. And I can relate to Ali's story, because I was diagnosed with
I was trying to let somebody in.
It's fine. So yeah, I was suffering with PTSD as a result of having not dealt with a lot of the trauma that had happened to me throughout my 20s. So now I'm like towards the end of my 20s, I'm trying to develop my career, and I'm moving myself up this corporate ladder, but all the time I'm suffering so badly with chronic anxiety. I had so many stories that I was holding on to about, you know, why I couldn't do certain things, and so much fear around doing things and things not being safe for me, that I was really just in survival mode, to be honest. Like I wasn't living, I was surviving. Yeah, I had a lot of health issues because of very destructive habits on my body. I was drinking a lot. You know, I'd come home from work and easily could sink a bottle of wine in an evening. I was in a long-term relationship that I knew wasn't going anywhere, but I just was so stuck. I didn't know how to get out of it. And I didn't want to hurt anyone else's feelings because I was a people pleaser. So I just suffered myself in silence and just really didn't have any self-love whatsoever. Like the whole concept of having dreams didn't even enter my headspace at that point. And I remember it all came to head one night because I wanted to grab a bottle of wine, because that was my thing at the time, to like numb the pain of what I was feeling inside. And I went out to the car to go and grab this bottle of wine that I left on the back seat of the car, and I left the car keys in the front door, and I went out to the driveway, and it was really cold. It was like middle of winter, ice cold. And I got in and I shut the door, and I was only in pajamas or something, not wearing very much. And as I grabbed this bottle of wine, I just heard this like click of the car door, and it locked. And I was like, oh, shit, okay, that's fine. Like I can open the car door from the inside, obviously, but I couldn't. So modern cars nowadays, if you take your keys out and you walk off, they automatically lock themselves, thinking that you've forgotten to lock your car. And because the keys were in the front door a couple of meters away, I found myself locked inside of my own car in the middle of winter, absolutely freezing cold. And I lived down this really quiet little private lane. There was nobody around. My boyfriend at the time was away on business traveling. And I was faced with this prospect of actually spending the night in my car in the freezing cold. It was so cold, like I was breathing, and I could see like the car was misting up. I was banging on the windows. And of course, because there was no keys in the ignition, I couldn't even turn the car on to toot the horn, to drive somewhere or anything. I couldn't do anything. That's why I couldn't undo the windows. And I actually got really scared. I was like, oh my God, someone's going to find me in 2 days from now, like Frosty the Snowman, inside of my own car. And I remember thinking the irony of this at the time of my life, where I felt so stuck in everything, so stuck in absolutely everything. And here I was stuck in my own damn car, not even able to get out. And I spent hours in there. So obviously I had a good amount of thinking time at this point. to really think about things. And I remember like just speaking to the powers of that be, or someone just saying like, please just like, I promise if you help me get out of this, I will do better, I will be better, like I will sort my shit out. And in the end, to cut a long story short, I ended up thrusting my foot through the car window on the passenger side, and like this glass just like exploded in on me, and I was so scared I was going to get absolutely cut to pieces. But it was like, okay, there's a fear of me staying stuck here in this car, or the fear of me breaking out and, you know, potentially injuring myself. And I just knew I had to get out, and kind of like tumbled out onto the driveway covered in glass, and was in such a state about it. And when I walked back into the house, I sat down with like a cup of tea, and I was really, really shaking. And something really like caught my eye on the bookshelf, that I'd had a book there that a friend of mine had given me probably 3 years before, that I'd never touched, I'd never opened, I'd never had any interest in even exploring it before. And for some reason, it just literally felt like it was jumping off the shelf at me that night. And it was a Jack Canfield book, The Success Principles. Don't know if you've ever read it, but I literally felt as though somebody was like willing me to grab that book. And I sat there and I literally read the entire thing, pretty much from cover to cover. I couldn't put it down. And Jack's second principle, I think, the first one is take responsibility for your life. And I was like, yeah, okay, I know I need to do that. And the second one was like, what do you want? What do you want? And I was like, it's never occurred to me that I could have everything I want before. It was like this new concept that somebody had suddenly said to me, you can have a genie and you can have all these wishes, and all you have to do is just know what you want. And it was so new to me, because I'd spent this entire life entire decade of my life, just allowing life to happen to me and feeling like I had no control over it. And so I was like, right, okay, I'm gonna start. I'm just gonna write down my dreams. I'm gonna write down my goals. I'm just gonna start there. And that's what I did. And like a big one for me was to like cure my anxiety, cure my PTSD. And I went on this beautiful health and wellness journey where I naturally cured myself of the anxiety. And that resulted in me like losing 49 pounds in weight, like almost by accident, which was crazy. And people started saying to me, like, what have you been doing? You're a different person. You've got all this energy. You look incredible. Will you coach me? I was like, well, I'm not a coach, but okay, I'll start coaching you. And this was really like the start of my coaching journey. And I think from there, like all this newfound confidence came through, where suddenly I was like, oh my God, if I can do this, I can do this, and then I can do this. And literally my career, I left the job that I was in that I hated, and I went into a new company. And within about 18 months, I was a director in the company, and I was being offered shareholdings in the company and all of those things. I left the relationship that I was in that wasn't going anywhere, and everything started happening. It was like this beautiful like upward spiral of things that started happening just because I was clear on what I wanted from life for once. And you know, today I have just taken those principles and applied it time and time again, and I'm so in tune now with my desires and my dreams and what I want, and I'm not afraid to go after them. I think this is really, you know, what we want to share with you today, is that it doesn't actually matter where you are right now. You can be a hot mess right now and still get yourself out of there. You can still kick your way out of that, you know, that proverbial car window, and get yourself unstuck and really start to be intentional about what you want. So anyway, I feel like I've been talking for too long, so let's get
into story. And it's a great inspirational story. One thing that came to mind as I was listening to you, I haven't heard that story about you being in the car, by the way, but I think we've shared stories of being almost stuck in a nightmare and then having some sort of wake-up call. Yours being stuck in a car, mine, my marriage imploding. But I suppose one of the key things I know you and I both really keen to share with people is that you do not have to wait for a wake-up call in order to take radical responsibility for your life to turn it around. You don't have to go so far down the rabbit hole to hit rock bottom in order to push yourself back up. You can, on your way down, you can put in an ice pick or a hammer or whatever you've got into the wall and say no further. that's as far as I'm going back up. I want to go back up. And that's where you start to recognize it's all the recognition piece of this is not what I want anymore. I'm taking radical responsibility for me. And as you said, Jack Canfield's first principle, take radical responsibility for yourself. You do not have to wait for anybody else. You do not have to wait for a knight in shining armor. Be your own knight in shining armor. And I remember thinking that when I was at rock bottom, I was like, I don't need anyone to help me get up. I can do this myself. Hence, heal yourself happy. You can do it yourself. It's all about taking responsibility for yourself. So in this masterclass, we're going to take you through the 4 key principles that Emma and I have applied in order to turn our lives into the dream life that we have. And it's the dream life for us. My dream life is my dream life. Emma's dream life is Emma's dream life. I have one of my dreams right here, right now. What's up? Sorry, Emma, carry on.
Yeah, I think Ali's, what you're saying is absolutely right. Like my brand is called Designing the Dream, because it's about designing your dream. It's nobody else's dream. It's what you want. And being intentional about that and really like attuning to that, like tapping into like what it is that you truly want. Like what does that life of happiness and freedom look like to you, not to anybody else?
Yeah. So our 4 steps then. So we've got 4 steps and they spell D-A-R-E. It's the Dare to Dream Masterclass. So we're going to start with the D. So it's really easy for you all to remember. If you want to get back onto the path of your dreams, you just need to remember to dare to dream first. And we're going to give you the 4 Ds, sorry, not the 4 Ds, the 4 principles that spell out dare. So you just need to go back. And the first one is D. It is to do that. Have some daring to dream. Have the dream indulgence in, just get so indulgent and spend some time there. And I think it is about allowing yourself to really tap into that. What is it that I want? And when I take myself back, sometimes I didn't know what I wanted. And it was just saying, okay, well, if I could have the genie that Emma talked about, what is it that I would love to have? What would I like to have in my life? Who would I like to have in my life? How do I want to feel? The problem I see in so many of the clients that I work with, and Emma and I work with, is that sometimes we hold ourselves back from dreaming because we fear that element of failure. We fear the disappointment. We hold ourselves to the fact that, well, it's not going to happen. So what's the point? What's the point in dreaming? Because you know what? I'm never going to get that dream job. I'll never meet the right guy. I will never be able to have enough money to buy that car that I really want. You know, it's never going to happen. So what's the point in even indulging in that dream? But I think what we're trying to say to you is do have time to indulge in your dreams and dare to dream big and dream bigger. And this is about having the fun in that space, getting really clear on what it is that you want. How do you want to feel? Because there's a 50% chance of it happening. It may happen or it may not. What if it does versus what if it doesn't? And they're 2 very different feelings with both of those. And I used to be in the old camp of, well, there's no point in that. It's never going to happen. We're never going to do that. So what's the point? But there is a point, because one, it's fun and it might even happen. And that's so much more fun than just thinking, well, there's no point to life.
Yeah. But you're trying to protect yourself from that disappointment of things not working out. So we say things like, oh, you know, I'd love to do that, but that's never going to happen for me. It's almost like I say, if I say something like that, and then the thing that I'm talking about doesn't happen, then I get to be right that it didn't happen. It wasn't likely to happen, as opposed to risk being wrong. So it's like, oh, I'm just going to be self-righteous about this because I don't want to be wrong. Like I don't want to disappoint myself. Therefore, let's just like pretend that it's not even possible for me. And it's an emotion that a lot of us really struggle with, is this emotion of being disappointed. So rather than feel that letdown or that disappointment, we just talk ourselves into the fact that it was never going to happen anyways, that we don't have to feel that level of disappointment. So
there's that element of jinxing. We're so British, aren't we? Oh, I don't want to jinx it, so I won't say it's going to happen. Oh no. I say that to my boys. They're not, I'm not going to jinx it. No, let's get excited about the possibility of what might happen. That's far more exciting, being there.
Yeah. Exactly. Like I remember being at that point where like I didn't even know what it meant to be in tune with or aligned to desire at all. I would just, so I'd go through this like goal setting process. So I'd set goals on something that I wanted by a certain time, because of course that's how we're told to do it in school, isn't it? We've got to set smart goals, they've got to be timed, they've got to be specific, blah blah blah. But the goal, I would end up setting goals usually based on something that I didn't have. So because I didn't have that thing, I was setting a goal based on not having it, or needing it. So it was like a need-based thing. So from the minute I then set that goal, I'm now focused on having it straight away. So straight away, I'm in this like state of lack because I've created this goal, and there's this huge gap between where I am right now and where the goal is. And now I'm in like this lack state because I don't have it, and all I can focus on is the gap. And I remember the realization of this. Like I did some post-grad study, and I was doing an advanced anatomy and physiology course, and I shared this with Ali earlier this morning. And it was like a big exam that covered the entire syllabus, like a roundup. So I took this exam, and the results came in. I had 99% on the exam. And it was like the first time that this had ever even happened in this particular school. And I remember saying and thinking, oh, I was 1%, like I was only 1% off 100%. And I remember feeling disappointed that I'd missed that 1%, rather than being like ecstatic over the fact I just passed an exam with 99 bloody percent, and no one's ever done that before. And it was a real like realization that I do this a lot in my life. I set goals and then I focus on the gap, rather than create goals from a place of desire, where I'm excited by what I have achieved, and then I'm also like, I'm so aware of what the possibility is of what I could achieve, but I'm not in that place of lack. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and it makes a huge sense to me, and feeling that shift. And for those of you who all this kind of mindset work is really, really new, is about understanding how you can shift from coming from a place of lack and need, and shifting to one of a place of desire. So you're desire led, lead by desire, and just really feel that shift, as Emma was saying, from rather than that place of there is nothing to I'm so excited for when that is going to happen. It's about moving from that I don't need it, but I can't wait for it. And there's a very, very different energy around that. So if you can think about that, how do you change your mind in terms of how do you say that in your mind? There's a couple of ideas that we talk through. So if it's a business thing that you want, so if you want to make £1 million in your business, if you want to make 1 million, then it's about just saying to yourself, rather than saying, right, my goal this year is to make 1 million. I need to make 1 million this year, or whatever your number is. But like Emma's 100%, it's like, whatever, I want to make it this year. It's about removing that and shifting it from a place of lack and need, I don't have it yet, to I can't wait for it. So you would say things like, I'm so excited to be on the journey to making 1 million, because then you're not putting a time frame around it, because that 1 million could come tomorrow.
Yeah. So like the difference between, so I might have at some point when I was single, obviously I'm married now, but when I was single, I might have said something like, I want to be married with 4 kids by the time I'm whatever. And I'd put this like really smart goal in place, or not so smart as the case might be. So it's the difference between something like that and saying, I am becoming the woman that attracts the man of her dreams. Like there's a totally different energy between I must be married and I must have this by this certain point, to I'm on the journey to I am becoming, I'm enjoying the process. And another example, which I think we talked about this earlier, didn't we? Like rather than set this goal around like wanting to become pregnant, for instance, rather than say like I must be or I need to be pregnant by this time, like I'm not getting any younger, so all this pressure around having a baby. What if you turned that on its head and said, I am creating the most beautiful place in my body and my home for a baby to come into my life? How different would that feel as opposed to I have this goal and I must have children by this date, and you know, putting all of these really like masculine energy goals around what we're doing.
I remember doing the baby one myself. I remember we struggled on a fertility journey, and well, not struggle, we got pregnant very easily. We just tended to lose a lot of babies. And I remember just thinking, okay, for me, in order to remain pregnant, I need to create a life that a baby wants to stay in and chooses to be with me. So that's about creating a family environment between just James and I, so that that baby wants to stay with us because it's having such a lovely time. So if you can see, you're shifting the pressure off the time and the lack and the need to, oh, I'm on a journey to creating something and I'm going to be happy while I'm doing that. I'm going to enjoy this process. It makes it a very much more relaxed energy rather than a hustle energy, I suppose is what we're saying.
Yeah, it's like the difference between being in lack and need to being in desire and abundance. And sometimes what happens is that we put our goals and our dreams on such a high pedestal where we think that our life is going to be so different when one of these goals or one of these dreams happens, or we say like, I'm going to feel different when XYZ happens, or we say things like, when I have this, then I will be this, like I will be happier, I will be more free, I will be able to be more excited, I will be more calm, I will be more relaxed. And then the problem is that we get that something, we have that something, and then we still feel the same way, and then we just want more, and we're never really content, because we think that we need to have something in order to feel a certain way, if that makes sense. So we create this such a huge gap that our dream seems totally out of reach. And so something that Ali and I do, and this is the trick, is how can I feel that way right now in where I am? Like, how can I be that person right that has that thing right now whilst I'm on the journey to creating it? And if I imagined that nothing else in my life has changed at all, I'm still the same person in the same house, surrounded by the same people, I'm doing the same things every single day, but I have that one thing that I really desire, who would that version of me be, and how would I feel in my day to day?
It's a lovely feeling, isn't it? It's almost about just saying, I'm so grateful for everything I have now, but I've just had this feeling of a cherry being placed on top of my head. And that feels like I'm a queen, I'm a crown, I'm loving life right now. And if you can get yourself into that dream state, this is what this D is all about. Indulge in your dreams every morning. Just allow yourself. So many people say, oh, she's such a dreamer. Yes, be a dreamer, because it's about using your imagination for a good thing rather than imagining the worst. Imagine the best, imagine the dream, imagine it all, and just wear that feeling with you wherever you go. So that's the dream indulgence, the D, the dare to dream. Allow yourself, indulge in the dream. Get your journal out, write the story out of your life. Just dream, dream, dream big. You know, Emma and I do this all the time. One of the first things that we do is just like, imagine if. Wouldn't that be fun? And a lot of our imagine ifs have already come true, which is why we feel so good all the time.
It's not a coincidence that it's come true.
No, and I always go back to one of my favorite sayings is that everything is created twice, once in the mind and then in the reality. So back to Jack Canfield right at the very beginning. You have got to know what it is that you want in order to create it. And if you don't know what you want, go and just have some fun playing with it. Give yourself permission to allow yourself to dream big.
Yeah. And here's the thing, like, there's no right like final answer to this, because your dreams will just continue to expand. Like, the dreams that Ali and I have today compared to the dreams that we had a few months ago are totally different. Like, every day we're speaking to each other and there's like a bigger dream that comes through and like a bigger desire that comes through, and it's such a fun and expansive way to live, because you're constantly evolving. And you know, there are things that you're going to desire in the future that your mind can't even comprehend right now, and that's so exciting, because it's like, oh my god, I can't wait to see what I'm going to come up with next.
Yeah. one of the things that we've touched on here is reframing to I'm on the journey to making £1 million in my lifetime in my business rather than this year. And that leads us quite nicely on to our second point, the DA. And this is all about letting go of time and making sure that everything is just about alignment. This is about aligning with your dreams. It's not about the smart goal of putting a time frame and a deadline on your goal or on your dream. I need to do something by a certain time. This is about just saying, this is what I desire. This is what I feel. This is how I feel about it. And now I'm stepping into being in alignment with that feeling. And in alignment of the feeling of having it, just like Emma said, just imagine everything is just as normal as you are doing now. But imagine if you did have the dream guy sat in your kitchen. Imagine if you were pregnant. Imagine if you did have £100 million in your bank account, or whatever number it is that you would desire to have in your bank. Just sit in that feeling of knowing that you are living the life of your dreams already.
Yeah, this was such a big realization for me, that my dreams don't happen on like the right time. They happen on aligned timing. So when I'm in alignment with that thing that I want, that's when it's going to happen, not on the time scale that I've put on my goal list. That's not how things work. So you need to release that relationship with time and things having to be a certain way.
We've got two examples. I think for those of you who've never really heard about alignment before and energetic alignment, I think there's a couple of examples we can use to try and help you move into it. I remember when I first started hearing about alignment, it kind of like blew my mind, but it is because I am now in alignment with my dreams that everything is happening. And the way that one of the first, when I first started hearing about alignment, the penny started to drop was to understand that you are always going to be in or out of alignment with your dreams. And it's in the knowing, and the example she said was like, you know that the Eiffel Tower is in Paris, don't you? It's like, yes, I know that the Eiffel Tower is in Paris. And she said, but you aren't there to know that it exists. You're in North Yorkshire and the Eiffel Tower is in Paris. But just because you can't see it doesn't mean to say it's not a reality. So all you have to do is get on the journey in order to align yourself up to going towards Paris. And that journey might mean a lot of different things. It might mean that I get on a plane to get to Paris and then a taxi in order to get to the Eiffel Tower, or I go to York and I get on the Eurostar and then I get up and then I take a taxi or I take the metro. But I go on a journey to being in alignment with the Eiffel Tower. It is still there. I'm just not with it yet. And yet is the key word. I'm just not there yet. I'm going on a journey to it. And it might be that you get off and have a few stops on your way, and that's okay. You know, I might decide to get off and see my dad in London, or I might decide to get off and see Emma, you know, on my way to the Eiffel Tower, but it's still there. And I just have to get myself in that beautiful alignment with it and understanding and knowing that it's there. And it's the knowing piece. I know the Eiffel Tower is there. I know that I'm building a brand that will be £1 million brand. I know that that is what's happening. I'm just in alignment with it and I'm walking the path in alignment towards it right now. And that feels so incredibly exciting because I know it's going to happen. I know. And it's the knowing that's what's going to help you with the alignment. And I think you've got another example to help people understand that alignment piece.
Yeah, there's a couple of things here. It's so if anyone's ever seen the film Sliding Doors with Gwyneth Paltrow, like this is very much how we see life, in that there are multiple possibilities and versions of your life that are almost like playing out alongside each other right now. And you know, you're in the version that you're in, but there are also multiple other possibilities, and everything that you actually desire and want, it's, as Ali said, it's already there, it's already available to you. It must be, otherwise you wouldn't have been able to have the thought about it in the first place. So it's already available. It's just that you're not aligned to it at the moment. And this idea that you could potentially be on a totally different train as she is in sliding doors and have a totally different outcome is actually really exciting, because sometimes we think that our dreams and our desires are something that are like linear on a timeline, where it's like, well, this is really far in the future. This is like years from now, like my dreams are going to take me 10 years to get there. And that's not the case at all, because it's not a linear thing. It's actually a multi-dimensional thing. So the life that you want is already there in existence. It's just that you're not there with it, in the same way that Ali just described that you're not in Paris with the Eiffel Tower. So I want you to just imagine for one moment that there are like 3 trains are running on parallel tracks side by side, okay? And each of them is in like a different landscape. So the first train is running on the track, which is like the reality scape, as we call it. So this is like where you are right now, like what's the reality for you. And then the second train, it's running on a parallel track, but it's what we call the optimistic scape. Okay, so this is like, okay, this is like a step up in terms of where you are right now. And then the other train is running on the dreamscape, which is like mind-blown miracles are happening on this train. And you actually get to choose whichever train you want to be on, but there is a different version of you that has the ticket to get onto that train. So it's really about you getting on the right platform and getting on the right train. Does that make sense?
Yeah, massively makes sense. Well, it does for me, and I'm hoping that that example is going to help other people. And I think talking about the ticket with alignment, and the ticket with aligning with the person that you need to be on each of those different trains, is all about doing the inner work, the mind work that we've been talking about, allowing yourself to dream, allowing yourself to understand that and to do that and believe it's possible for you.
Yeah,
I love that. So we've done dream indulgence, we've done the alignment piece. The R is really interesting because it's all about the rebalance. This is about rebalancing yourself. Emma's just explained the beautiful landscapes across the realistic landscape. We've got the optimistic landscape, and then we've also got the dreamscape. We often play in the realistic one all the time. I think we do as Brits. I think we're brought up in that way. You know, I cast a mirror, I hold a mirror back over my past, and because of that's what's happened in the past, this is what's going to happen in the future. I'm going to always choose the guy who's mean to me. I've lost a baby, so I'm going to lose another one. I didn't make money out of my last business, I'm not going to make money out of this one. We replay the past because of what was real. But what we don't understand is that the landscape changes as we move forward on our train, and we can start to turn that mirror or let go of the mirror and start to play in the land and the scapes of the optimism. And this is where you just start to think about what's possible. This is the dream indulgence piece. This is, wouldn't it be exciting if that happened? Wouldn't it be exciting if the train went here and stopped here? Wouldn't that be so exciting? It's about, as Emma said, it's about the next level up. It's about adding the bells and whistles onto what you've already got, just making it sparklier, more beautiful. It's possible. If it's not impossible, it's absolutely possible.
It's like it's not so far away that we can almost touch it. Like there's a chance that this could be real. And if there's a chance that it could be real, then I can get really excited about that, because I've seen evidence of it being real. Therefore, I can be excited by what's to come, and I can expect it. It's this like energy of it's coming and I can feel it. And the example I'd love to give on this is like the 4-minute mile. So nobody had ever run a 4-minute mile before. Everyone said it's impossible. Humans aren't built to be able to do that quickly. And it was impossible until it was possible, because the minute that one person did it, the one person that believed that it was possible did it, then everyone did, like everyone else, well, obviously not everyone. I've not been running any 4-minute miles recently. In fact, I've not been running any miles recently, but it was then possible for one person, so it was possible for somebody else. And this is where it's really fun, because if you can see evidence that there's somebody else doing that thing, then it's possible for you.
I think that's one of the most exciting reframes and light bulb moments I've had on my journey here, is that I used to look at other people's success, whether that be in business, other people's successful marriages, other people's successful this, that, and the other, their dress, their amount of money that they brought in, all of this kind of stuff. I used to see it as, oh, it's coming as a, well, I don't have that. I've come from the place of lack. And then I reframed it, or I was taught how to reframe it, and I've learned how to reframe it as just saying, actually, that's just a sign from the universe to tell me it's possible for me. You know, the more people I see living happy lives, the more people I see creating wealth, the more people I see having fun. Oh, that's just evidence that it's possible for me. It's the universe telling me it's on my path.
Yeah.
And I think that's a beautiful way of reframing it and living.
Yeah, I used to feel the same way. Like sometimes I'd look at other people and I'd be really triggered by them, and I would be like, oh, their competition, now they've done that, I can't do that. And if I was going to reframe that for you, and the way that we reframe that now is that when I see, if I feel like a slight trigger about something that someone else is doing, that for me is actually helping me to tap into my desires. Because if I'm triggered by that person, there's a part of me deep down that actually really wants that thing too. Like I desire that thing, and that's why I'm triggered by it. So I can then say to that person, thank you for showing me what I truly desire.
Yeah,
I hadn't realized until that point I wanted it, but now I see you doing it and I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to do that too.
it's like a trigger of enlightenment, isn't it? So rather than seeing it as a trigger of jealousy, it's a trigger of enlightenment, which is a lovely way of seeing that.
Definitely.
So then we get into the next realm, which is my favorite realm to play in. Because I'm a kid really at heart, and this is a lovely place to play in. So when Emma said that we were trying to think about how do we reframe and rename these different areas to play in, she said to me this morning, she said, I've got it, it's the dreamscape. And I was like, oh, I love the dreamscape. This is where you move one step beyond the optimistic scape, because if it's optimistic, it's been done, there's evidence, you can do it. The dreamscape is the wouldn't it be amazing if Oprah called? Oh. Wouldn't it be amazing if we were on the front page of the Times because of our services to humanity? But that's just too big for my brain to handle. So we're just going to just like put it in a balloon and just leave it there, because it's just pretty thought, and I'm just not going to think about it too much.
Yeah.
Those are the exciting dreams that you just feel the frisson of excitement with it, but not fear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in the dreamscape, we just get to blow our own minds just by allowing our imagination to run completely wild, and just these thoughts come to us, and then we could be like, oh my gosh, could you bloody imagine if that happened? And then we leave voice messages for each other all the time. We were doing it yesterday. I'm like, oh my god, can you imagine if someone overheard our conversations? But we were saying, oh my god, I had this thought, can you imagine, like, can you bloody imagine if this happens? And we don't have to do anything. Like, it's not a goal that we have to do something to try and achieve. We just put it out there.
We just revel in it. I do.
We leave with everyone. Yeah. And I think this is what we're talking about with the R of the dare, is about rebalancing yourself. It's being able to straddle these three landscapes. It's like, okay, there are certain things in my life that I have to be in the realistic scape for. Like, this is the bit that keeps me grounded in the moment, and it keeps me at peace with where I am right now, as well as thinking about what I want to do next. So, there are certain things that we have to do in the realistic scape. We know we have to pay our bills. We know we have to do certain things and take certain actions.
Need to go shopping. I'm all about the food. We need to make sure we've got food in our fridge.
Exactly.
My boys are coming home. There's going to be no food left. I need to go shopping.
Yeah, there are certain times of our day in our lives that we need to be in the reality scape. But then there's this also straddling of this optimistic scape where we just love to imagine, and it's not that far away, and we can almost touch it, and we've seen the evidence of it. And this is probably where we spend most of our time dreaming, in a way, because it's like it's there. Like, I can almost feel it's coming, and I'm aligned with it, and I'm on my path to it. And then you've got this dreamscape, where you don't have to do anything at all. You just need to believe, just need to put it out there, and just allow that kind of energy to just disperse into the universe, and just have fun with it.
I love doing all of this with my kids and my husband. We often sit, can you imagine if Daddy bought a new Aston Martin? No. My petrol head family. So that's the R. I love that one. The rebalancing, as Emma said, it's the playing in the three scapes. It's just understanding where you need to be and allowing yourself to play in the dreamscape and aligning in the optimistic state, because you know, and you can have it. So the final one is the E. And this is often, and Emma and I both come across this with a lot of people, and we do a lot of work in this space, is about how do you embrace fear? Because so many of us are fearful of our dream, which is why we don't dare to dream, because we're too frightened of what might happen if our dreams come true, which is almost a weird contradiction of terms, isn't it? Because in your dream life, why would you have any fears? But we do. And I remember my fears around becoming successful were, well, if I'm successful, that means I'm gonna have to work really hard, which means I'm gonna be away from my family, which means I won't see them, they'll hate me, all of this kind of thing. So I'm actually energetically blocking my dream because I've got a fear about it. So first of all, it's about understanding that you could have fears associated with your dreams, but that shouldn't be the reason why you stop dreaming. It's about acknowledging the fear that comes with it and then embracing that fear, because your fear is just a signal. One, it's something new, something you've never had before. You know, with an awful lot of money comes an awful lot of responsibility. With babies comes an awful lot of responsibility. With having a partner comes responsibility. All of these things come, or hurt or pain or whatever you might be projecting your past on. There is always going to be a fear associated with the dream. And the quicker you get in alignment with that, or also not alignment, the quicker you get an acknowledgement of understanding that fear, then that's when you can do the work to get back in alignment with it, and you can cleanse the way and the path and the journey for it. And the second thing I would say with fear is that fear is often just something that's telling you you're going to do it. And I recognized this was when 2 years ago, we went coast-steering with the boys, and I'm petrified of heights. I'm so frightened of heights that if there are any steep staircases, I will go up on my bottom because I'm so terrified. And yet we were standing on cliff faces and about to jump into the water. And I was terrified. Now I could have, and to be honest, if it was just James and I would have walked away and I wouldn't have been frightened. I would have just said, I'm not doing that. But my boys were there and I couldn't show them that I was afraid. I had to show them that I was brave, that I was going to be frightened and I was going to be walking with my fear and jump off with them so that I could teach them the same. You walk with fear, and that is bravery. That is courage. Fear is just something to tell you you're going to do it anyway. So you might as well just do it quickly. Just jump off the cliff.
Like ripping the band-aid off, isn't it? No, I agree with that. I was just thinking then when you were talking, Ali, that like two of the fears that I used to have were open water and sharks. So not a good combination for me. And when I recently had the opportunity to travel to French Polynesia, and they offer a shark swimming experience out on the reefs and things in French Polynesia. And we were on this boat, like heading out of the safety of the lagoon into the big wide water, and my heart, like everything was just, oh my God, like the fear was so overwhelming to me. But it's because I knew I was going to do it. Like there was no way I was going to be in Bora Bora and not have that experience. I knew that I wanted to have that experience. And if I wasn't going to do it, if I wasn't going to jump off the boat, there would have been no fear, because I wouldn't have been worrying about it, but I knew I was going to do it. And it was like this anticipation. And for me, living in fear is like this living in avoidance of a bad feeling or a situation. It's like our bodies have this internal alarm system that sends up all these warning signals when it's like, you know, fear, watch out, this is going to happen. And I was thinking about this when I was dropping my daughter off at nursery this morning. I was in the car and I was trying to get out of this space, and it was a bit tight, and the car parking sensor just kept doing its like beep, 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 and then it gets louder and louder and more aggressive and faster, and I'm like panic, like, oh my goodness. But the car sensor starts beeping the minute you start trying to move or get out of a certain space. It's like this automatic computer that starts bracing you for impact. And we have like this onboard computer in the same way. The minute we start to move or want to try and get out of a certain space, our internal alarm system starts like beep, 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 like, oh my goodness, like shut that thing off. It's preparing you for the impact. And then you get out of the car and you go around the back and you realize you get a bloody bus around the back of there and you're nowhere near hitting impact at all. And I think it's about understanding that we also have this like inbuilt computer that starts beeping the minute we want to try moving or doing something. And I think understanding that actually we're safe, like we're in the car, we've got this armor of protection around us, like we've built up our own armor and our own layers of resilience over the years. And if I get a bump, I can handle it. I can handle the impact of a bump. It's not going to crush me. It's not going to break me. I can handle it. So I think like there is no such thing as being fearless. Like I often see these quotes like, be fearless. I'm like, no, there's no such thing as being fearless. You just have to be courageous. You have to move through the fear and take it with you for the ride, because it's not going to go anywhere. And at every single level that you move up in your life, in the world, and every new dream and desire, there's going to be another fear that you're going to have to move with. So you might as well get on and do it with the fear.
So embrace fear, hold it close. It's just an important feeling to tell you that something's new, something's coming, just makes you a bit alert, and it's always going to be with you. You just don't have to let it drive. I often say that you can have fear in the car with you on your journey to your dreams, but you don't have to let it drive it. You drive the car. It's just there to tell you that you're getting a little bit close to the edge, but you just tell it, I've got it. I'm here. I've got it.
Like
so that,
sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, so the E is all about embracing fear. So if we go back through what we've been talking to you about in the Dare to Dream today, it's D is about your dream indulgence. Get an understanding of what it is that you really desire. Move away from the space of lack and move to a place of desire and get excited about what it is that you want to dream about. What are your dreams? It's okay. Give yourself permission to dream, indulge in your dreams, have fun, imagine it, create it in your mind. Yeah. The A, we talked to you about aligning, and it's the alignment to your dreams. Get an alignment with going to the Eiffel Tower, whatever it is that you want to be, do or have. The R was about rebalancing. Rebalance yourself across the three landscapes, which may have been a new concept to you. Emma's three trains, the three scapes, the realistic, the optimistic, and the dreamscape. It's about playing with every single one of those. So rebalance your mind, rebalance your life across those three beautiful landscapes. And then the E is just the embracing of the fear. And Emma and I were just talking before we came on, and I said to Emma, when she was telling me about the beeping of the car, and I just said, well, actually, that's really, really interesting, because it feels like what you've been doing for me as a coach and as a mentor. You've been my eyes in the back of my head. Rather than listening to my warning signals, I've been listening to you, because you've been coaxing me backwards, even though my alarm bells were going, bah, 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 don't do that. You were like, it's okay, I've got your back, I've got you, keep coming, yeah. Do this, do that.
Back of the car, like a little bit further, you're okay, you're not going to hit, you're okay. Like, and that's the beauty of like coaching and mentorship, is that you have got that person that's got your back.
Yeah. So we hope that you've loved everything we've had to say today. Dare to Dream, the masterclass, DARE. We hope that you can tap into whichever part or all parts of those you need in order to live your dream life. And if you've loved what we've had to say today, please do let us know in the comments, whether you're watching live or whether you're watching replay. If you want to create your dream life, if you want to make your dreams an absolute reality, then we'd love for you to stay on for another 15 minutes or so, because we've got something really, really exciting to share with you. We'd love for you to stay on. This is about how Emma and I have then taken this dream and made it a reality. And this is really, really exciting. Emma, did you want to say anything before we move on to the next bit? Did you want to say anything to wrap that up?
No, I think just that, if you want life to change, you're going to have to be the one that changes it. Like, you're going to have to be the one that changes, what you do, who you are, the way you think. And this is something that like we do every day. Like we dream every single day. We're excited every single day. We're in touch with reality, but we're also in this optimistic scape, and we're in this dreamscape, and our lives just to get more dreamier as the days go on, and then it becomes a reality, and then the dreamscape becomes the reality scape for us. So we're taking ourselves through this process all the time, and every time that we do it and we focus on it, things just get better and better. And you know, we are continuing to lead ourselves through this journey together every single day, which makes it so much fun. And for us, what's coming next that we want to talk to you about is that we're off on our next stage of that journey. We're getting on the train again, and we're going at full speed ahead. And we really want to invite you to come with us on that and be with us as we straddle these landscapes. We want you to all get on the party train with us, on the dreamscape train. That's where we're going. Yeah.
Get your tickets. So with that in mind, Helen says thank you. It's an absolute pleasure. And Joanna's saying hearts. That's lovely. Thank you. We've loved spending this morning with you. So thank you for being here with us. And so we're going to step change. We are going to step change. We've had the beautiful music. We've had the lovely dreamy landscape. And now it's about walking to the beat of the drum. It's about moving. We're going to go. Emma and I are off. We've got our tickets. We are on the next train, and we would love to invite as many of you or any one of you to come and join us on this next part of the journey. So we are going to be launching our next program together, which we are so excited about. And it's going to start on the 28th of June, and it's called Dream, Believe, Achieve. This is the program about making your dreams become a reality. This is the program. For those of you who've been in my world for a long time now, you'll remember I was sat on a boat in the summer of last year as COVID hit. And I said, right, I'm going to make shit happen this year. This is all about making shit happen in 2020. And I wrote myself a plan. I said, right, nothing has gone to plan this year. I'm going to write myself a plan to make what I want happen. I want my dreams to become a reality by the end of this year. And I wrote myself a plan. And I said, anybody who wants to come with me can come with me. And I took a group of women. It was all women last summer, around about this time. I took them through the process with me. By the end of 2020, my dream life was happening. All the goals, the dreams, everything in the dreamscape had now become my reality scape. So I ran the program again at Christmas this year. I up-leveled it and I ran it again. And I took myself through the same process, dreamt again, boom, living the dream again. My dreams became the dreamscape, became my reality scape. And we're going to do exactly the same thing again, but this time it has up-leveled, and I have a partner in crime to help us keep going. She is the eyes at the back of our head. You've got me at the back of your head. You've got Emma, and you've got me. Emma is the strategist. She's so calm and so, you want her on your team, basically. She's got you, she holds you, she moves you forward. And then you've got me. I'm all about the heart, I'm all about the mind, I'm all about the kind of like fizz and the excitement and the energy and all of that. But together we've both got the energy and the soul and the spirituality side of things to help create the most beautiful package as we take you through this program. So this program, the Dream, Believe, Achieve program, the mid-year reignition, is happening with the two of us, which is just so incredibly exciting. And this is going to be for anybody who has been listening to this masterclass and just said, oh my gosh, goodness, I want to learn how to dream. I want to tap into the realities of my dreams. And I want to believe in my dreams and believe that they can actually become a reality. And not only just believe, I actually want to achieve them. I want to create them in my mind. I want to know and be so confident that they're going to happen. And I will walk the path. I'm going to get on the train, and I'm going to get on my train, and I'm going to arrive in my dreamscape. And then I'm going to go again. And then I'm going to go again. This is for anybody who has that whisper of a dream inside them. This is for anybody who's got that little bit of music. As Wendy always says, don't die with the music inside you. If you have a whisper of music, if you have that little note of your soul calling you, then this is the program to help you tap into that, embrace it, nurture it, walk with it, and start to make it a reality. This is for anybody who has just had that kind of realization that this is, you know what, one life, I am going to make this count. if this last 12 months has been anything, it has taught us that aging is a privilege that has been denied to so many. Seeing my mum die was my wake-up call to like, oh, I've only got one life. I'm going to make it the best life. And this is the program I wrote for myself to make that happen. And I repeat it and I repeat it and I create it and I create it and it happens. So this is for anybody who wants to live their dream life, to create their dream life. This is for anybody who wants to wake up like I do every morning, bouncing out of bed going, oh my God, I'm so excited for today. I'm so excited for what today is going to hold. Who want to go to bed like I did last night going, oh my God, I'm just too excited for tomorrow. I can't bear it. That is the energy I live with every day. I go to bed so excited and I wake up so excited every single day. And yeah, there's stuff that happens, but I am so excited about living my life at the moment. I'm so excited about what's to come. And this is the program that's going to help you feel exactly that way. And we are just so excited to invite you to come along and come with us. It's a 5-module program. And it takes you through the dream process. So it's up-leveled again. So we're going to talk about dreams. We're going to talk about your reasons why this matters to you and why it actually has to become a reality. This is how you make your dream bigger than your excuses, bigger than your fears. We're going to elevate you. We're going to talk about the energetics. We're going to go more into the alignment piece. We're going to teach you and talk you through how you can make it, how you can feel it, how you can actually get to Paris, how you can find the tickets inside you to get on the right trains. We're going to align, and get you back into your power. So if you come off, if you fall off, you get back into alignment with where you want to go. About getting back on the train. How do you do it quicker and quicker? Because yes, there are always going to be times when you fall off. And my goodness, we live in a world and in a life where that's always going to happen, but it's about not beating yourself up. It's about just saying, oh my God, shit just happened. Right, let's go again, get back up. And the quicker you do that, the quicker you get back on the train to your dreams. That is where your power lies. And then for those of you who have done this program with me before, we have a new module. Not only do we have Emma with us and all of her amazingness, we have a new module.
Double trouble.
Double trouble, but we have a new module. Because the last 6 months for me and what I've learned in the last 6 months has been mind-blowing around money and wealth. So the M in dream is money. We're going to be talking about money. We're going to be talking about wealth, how to make it, how to believe it, how to receive it, all the things. We want to normalize wealth in the hands of women and men and make it a good thing. So this is all about your wealth mindset. So those are the 5 modules. And our aim for you is to dream big and live big, live the dream life, to believe in yourself and to achieve all of it. Emma, I need a drink. You carry on.
So just some practical bits then, in terms of what's involved in this program and how it's going to work. So it is going to be a 2-week live experience with both of us together. Double the magic, double the trouble. So anyone that has already bought on an early bird through Ali's Heal Yourself Happy, you are automatically now enrolled. And I hope that you won't mind me gate crashing your party on the train, because I'm coming into this as well with Ali. So we're going to be delivering this program to you together. And for those of you that are already in, I can't wait to meet you. I can't wait to work with you and to share this 2 weeks with you. So the program starts on the 29th of June. So it's coming up quite quickly. There's not a lot of time to get on the train. And it's going to be running through to a celebration that we're going to be having on the 15th of July. As Ali explained, there are 5 modules involved in the program, which spell out the word dream. Of course they do, because that's what Ali and I do. So there's the Dream Bigger module, there's the Reasons, which is the R, there's the Elevate, there's the Alignment, and then there's the Money piece. So DREAM, Dream Bigger. So there's 5 modules. They're all going to be live, so you can be in our live energy. But they're also going to be available on replay as well, at any time during a 4-week period. So we're going to leave those modules up for you for the 4-week period, so that if you can't catch one live, you can always catch up on replay.
And watch them multiple times if you need to.
Exactly. So in terms of the investment then, because I know you're going to ask me this, the investment, we have got an early bird investment for you, which is available until 7 p.m. on Sunday over the weekend, which is £333. which is a no-brainer. So we wanted to make this an absolute no-brainer for you just to go, oh my God, yes, I'm in.
£333 for the life of your dreams. Me, what a return on investment.
Exactly. So that's available till Sunday night, and then it's going to the standard price of £444. So all of the beautiful angel numbers there in the investment. So if you have loved what we've said today, if you've loved being in our energy and you would love to be in this for the next 2 weeks with us, and it's very much a hell yes, I'm in, I don't even need to think about this because this is just what I've been looking for, then you can sign up for £333 until Sunday night. Or if you feel like you've got some questions, either you can pop them in the comments now. We're going to stay on for a little while. You can ask the questions. But also we're going to pop a Q&A in the thread of this group. So you can type your questions in the comments of that Q&A thread. And we're going to jump on Monday to answer those in a live Q&A session. So you'll have the opportunity to ask us questions before you join. But obviously the early bird does end on Sunday night. So if you've got some burning questions, ask them now so that you can jump in at that 333. Or otherwise, if you need a little bit of time to have a think on it or ask us some questions for Monday, then you can jump in for £444 up until when we start on the 29th of June. Ali, did I miss anything?
I don't think so. I think what I would just love for any of you watching this and considering this program, this is about a heart feeling. This is about just going, I know that this is the right thing for me in order to get there. This isn't about fear of missing out on anything. This has to be a desire-led mission for you. This isn't about, oh, I should do that. This is about, oh my God, I'm so excited. I want to get on the train with them and I'm going and I'm going and I'm going. Come in with that energy. Otherwise, you're going to be on your back foot before you've even started. This is about that deep knowing that these ladies have got my back and they're going to take me. I've been watching them. I know what they're doing and I want a piece of it and I'm coming with them. I'm going to jump on their train with them. So come with us from a very, very beautiful space, and you'll know that from your heart. Let this be a heart-led decision if you want to come with us, because then we know that you're going to be loving the whole experience. And if it's not the right time for you, just remember, go back to what we said about aligned timing. This might not be the right time for you, and that is okay. That's okay. You can keep coming back to this Dare to Dream Masterclass. You can come back and watch it again anytime you like. And we're going to be doing more stuff in here. But if you are ready to run, and this is purposefully a 2-week intensive program, because this is how it's worked for me. This is how it's worked for Emma. It's a boom. It's pedaling that bike really, really hard for a couple of weeks to go, and then you fly. And then that just sets you off in the right momentum for the remainder of the year. So I did it in January. I did it last year. I'm doing it again now. It's a process I take my through all the time, just to inject some excitement and some dreams and some beauty into my life, so that it now becomes that constant cycle of dream, believe it, achieve it, dream, believe it, achieve it. And it just keeps up leveling and keeps moving. The dream keeps coming bigger and bigger and bigger and realizing more and more and more. So that was all I would say. You'll know if this is the right thing for you to come with us. And we can't wait to see who comes.
Yeah. Very excited. I'm just seeing if there's any comments. Kerry's just saying, thanks so much. Really enjoyed it. Our pleasure, Kerry. Thank you for being here. Helen's saying, thank you.
Christina says, at ease. So she needs to work on her rebalancing across the dreamscapes and the embracing of the fear. Get those rocks, Christina. Have a look at your rocks and just start hugging them.
Yeah. Marvelous. Yeah, so we'll just wait for a sec, because I know there's a short delay. See if there's any questions or just any thoughts or comments on anything we've shared. Perhaps like Christina, you've noticed that there's a particular area that maybe is holding you back. Maybe it's the D, maybe it's the A, maybe it's the R, maybe it's the E. Whatever's coming up for you, feel free to share this. It's a safe space. So we'd love to hear if there have been any sort of aha moments as we've been talking, and just hope that you've really enjoyed what we've shared so far.
Katie's really enjoyed it. Thank you, Katie. Thank you for letting us know that. So after we finished here, I'm going to pop the Q&A thread. So if you've got any questions about the Dream, Believe, Achieve program, please pop them in there. And Emma and I will go through that on Monday. Please bear in mind that Emma and I don't work weekends, we practice what we preach. So if you message us on any channel, we won't be answering those questions until Monday. I hope you'll all honour that, because our dream life is one where we spend our weekends with our families and we're able to switch everything off. The second thing I'm going to do is I will post out the links so that for those of you who are a hell yes, this is a no-brainer, I'm with you, I'm on that freaking train, then you can jump on right now, and I'll pop that post on as soon as I come off here, so you've got that to jump on in and get excited, and we cannot wait to celebrate with you and get the party started well before the train leaves the station. So those are just two things that I would mention. Emma says, I'm loving the sound of this and almost ready to come with you. Will this help either indirectly or directly work through some of the areas I feel a little stuck around in my consultancy business in terms of business model, i.e. how the money should flow? So when it comes to money, yes, because that's the M. Everything leads beautifully into the M at the end by working through the dream first, by then understanding your reasons, then elevating yourself. That's all about getting unstuck. You talk about getting unstuck. This is about helping you work through some of your limiting beliefs, and we'll help you with that. And what have I got to? E, and then A, this is going through into the alignment piece. This is about the magic, the miracles, and the manifestation. And you work through all of these in the most beautiful sequence that is then going to help you get to the M, because that is where we start to turn on the tap of the money. We talked to you about the flow of the money in there. So yes, in terms of how to create your business model, we're not going to be talking about business models as such. This is very much more of an energetic program. If you want to understand business modeling, then I would suggest that you talk to either Emma directly in terms of private coaching, or you can come and join us in the Well Balanced Business Program, which we're running again in September. So you've got some options there. It doesn't necessarily have to be an either or model. You can do all programs all in one go. So that was Emma. Monica loves hearing the stories. Yeah, I love stories too. Well, stories are all about that 4-minute mile. It's about the evidence. We tell stories so that people can hear that it's possible for you. So I hope in hearing our stories that you now realize that your dreams can become realities too, because we are the evidence that it works. We are the evidence that you can be living in a nightmare in your car. You can have had all of your world crash around you, and yet you can still elevate from the ashes, and you can come out and you can live that dream life. You do not have to stay stuck in a nightmare.
But you also don't need to wait for a nightmare to come and give you a massive rocket up your backside. You can do it from wherever you are.
Stop that slide down and go down.
Yeah, we just want you to know that wherever you are, like, it's possible for you. Like, I came on the initial thing I said is like it wasn't likely that I would be the person that's sitting here today telling you how you can create everything that you want in your life and create a dream life, because that wasn't who I was at the time. And I hope that Ali and I sharing our stories has shown you that we are the evidence of what's possible. And now we're going to invite you on that dreamscape train, and in true party style. And people say, is there anything I can bring? Yes, you can bring champagne, because we're going to be celebrating a lot. So bring your champagne onto the party train in the dreamscape, and let's go.
Let's go. And one thing I would just say as we wrap up here is that if you know anybody else in your world, in your network, who could have done with hearing this masterclass today, please do feel free to invite them in to the Wellness Business Hub, or send them the registration link and they can get a copy of this. We'll be sending it out so that people can get it on a replay. You guys here in this hub will be able to watch this over and over again as much as you like. I will put it in a guide so you'll be able to find it very easily. So just a bit of housekeeping there, but yes, please do. We would love for you to share that out. Feel free to share the Dare to Dream masterclass image that we've been using everywhere if you wish. We would love to see that. We just feel that so many people deserve to live their dream life, and we would love for as many people to hop on our train with us. So thank you for doing that. Thank you for being with us. Michelle, it's an absolute pleasure. Emma, a pleasure. Monica, party. Yes, absolutely. And Emma says, thank you. She had a real light bulb moment around reframing of the triggers. So just so delighted if you got everything you needed from today, and that's enough. But we're so excited to see who's going to jump on that party train. As Emma says, bring the champagne.
Amazing. Thank you all so much for giving up your Friday morning to be with us. Loved having you here. We've loved sharing these concepts with you. And we'll be back in the Wellness Business Hub soon. Lots of love. Bye.
Well, Monday. We'll be back for the Q&A on Monday. Lots of love. Bye.
Bye, everyone.